Step into the ring, the bell's about to chime. Turnbuckle Talk, we're here to shine. Flagship of the airways, leading the pack. Breaking news, reviews, we've got your back. From the squared circle to the backstage news, we bring stories that you can't refuse. Turnbuckle Talk, the voice of the fight. Every slam, every suplex, every highlight. Tune in weekly, don't miss a beat. For the latest in wrestling, we bring the heat. From AEW to WWE, we cover it all from A to Z. Interviews, insights, and match reviews. If it's wrestling news, we've got the clues. From the squared circle to the backstage news, we bring stories that you can't refuse. Turnbuckle Talk, the voice of the fight. Every slam, every suplex, every highlight. Tune in weekly, don't miss a beat. For the latest in wrestling, we bring the heat.
Something big is happening in Canadian wrestling. Maple Leaf Pro is about to go national with a huge, and I mean huge, TV deal. Could this be the moment that changes the wrestling game forever here in Canada? My name is Chris Best. I've got OMD alongside me. We've got the wrestling news to tell. OMD, how are you doing today?
Well, I'm doing all right. I'm here to talk wrestling. Yes, I had a rough night. I'm a little bit tired. I wasn't feeling great this morning, but we're here. We're going to get through this, and we are going to break this all down for you.
Yeah, so let's get it started off with the big mystery of the weekend, and that's a trademark that the WWE has filed, and it's relative to some of the things that we've been seeing in the background on WWE TV over the last couple of weeks or last couple of episodes of SmackDown and Raw, as well as random flash ups. And let's break down what Club WWE is or could be. WWE filed a new trademark application for the term Club WWE ahead of some visual teasers that we saw on Friday's SmackDown. The company submitted the paperwork to the U.S. Patent Office and Trademark Office on March 26th. This move preceded multiple visual references to the March 27th broadcast. In the trademark database, it says membership club services in the nature of providing discounts and special offers to members in the field of retail sales, special event planning, marketing and subscriptions, administration of a discount program for enabling participants to obtain discounts on goods and services through the use of a membership. Advertising services providing consumer product and services information via the internet and mobile applications. Membership club services, namely providing online information to members in the fields of branding, business development, business marketing, and marketing. This to me sounds like it's the WWE fan club that they used to have way back in the early 90s coming back, but with you being able to get discounts on tickets to any live events or discounts if you want to purchase some merch over on the shop website.
Right, and I'm with you there, but it also seems like it's probably going to be an exorbitant membership fee, so that's where they're just making up the money that you get discounts on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably going to be on big orders. Like if you're buying, the $42,000 WrestleMania ringside ticket, you might pay $38,500.
Yeah.
So it's going to be for something significant because your membership fee, and I mean, we don't know if it's going to be a monthly fee that you have to pay, an annual fee, what it's going to be. I'm sure there's probably going to be tiers to it, much like streaming platforms like Netflix.
Yeah, and the way it says business and marketing for to receive certain items and whatever, that also sounds to me like you could also get items like, say, a monthly loot box with the WWE, and that could have like t-shirts or keychains of your favorite wrestler, maybe small action figures, an 8x10 of your favorite wrestler, that sort of deal too,
Yeah.
or even autographed 8x10s, I should say.
But I wonder if this
And
is
if
more for when you're going to a live event, and whether it's a PLE, a Raw, a SmackDown, or a live event formerly known as a house show, and that's where you're gonna get your discounts on merch.
And that's
Uh,
the other thing too. Way back in the day, like when they had the WWF fan club, you got tickets to like your a wrestling event going near to your city. For us, it would have been Sudbury or Toronto, and you sort of got like a VIP treatment when you went to those events as well with those tickets.
right. I lost my train of thought now, unfortunately. But we do have Link Gaming coming in saying, Unk.
We were talking about the what this club WWE could be.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested. I need more information on it first before I'm willing to spend the money.
Yeah, and see, like that's where I think like it says we know WWE is rigged, but
Yes.
anyways, this WWE club, like I'm intrigued. I always wanted to be a part of that WWF fan club when we were kids. I always wanted to get those the entrance tapes that they used to send with the your membership, because you get a tape full of your wrestlers' favorite theme songs.
Yep.
You'd get maybe some Hulk Hogan merch, or there was one instance where they started introducing where like a wrestler would call and wish you a happy birthday. Your favorite wrestler would do that, or something like that
Right.
too.
Right.
And then you got like early access to ticket sales, and I think that's another thing that they're probably going to introduce in this one too. Is
Right.
like,
But you know what? Like, I wonder if this is just taking over that priority pass.
well, that's where I was getting to. If you're part of the fan club, maybe you get that before the priority pass, and then you sign up. You sign up for that, you get the tickets before the priority pass. It goes WWE Club, priority pass, then the actual ticket sales. That's
Yeah.
probably where it could go.
Yeah. The other thing I'm thinking of, and this, I got my train of thought back, it's probably going to be for meet and greets, because we know that exorbitant costs are there.
Yeah.
Um, so, and I wonder if that's going to knock, 10 or 15 bucks off of those meet and greets per photo, as opposed to a bundle.
And I'm going to bunk off that. I think those are going to be more privatized meet and greets as well. Like maybe prior to the Hall of Fame, you get access to meet the Hall of Fame legends before they go out and get inducted, or something like that. Or you get let's say WrestleMania, you have to be at the arena at 4 o'clock, but you go there at noon. You get a meet and greet with like Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes.
Right.
Like you get a meet and greet with the upper echelon guys.
Yeah.
Um, I'm intrigued to see more about this. There hasn't been a definitive release date for this club, that WWE club, but I think we here at Turnbuckle Studios should keep a very, very close eye on this situation, because it does seem very intriguing, and they do seem to be going all in as far as the advertising goes here.
Right.
um, I'm trying to look for the next story. Oh, I thought, where is it? The next story is well, it's regarding Mads Kruger at a wrestling event. Was attacked by, oh, there it is. I see it. A fan had tried to stab Mads Kruger at an indie event, and the entire roster retaliated. And how many times, dude? How many times have we said, "Don't interfere with the wrestling"?
Right.
especially when it's Mads Kruger. Look at how big that dude is.
Right. But kudos to the whole locker room for coming to his defense and to his aid.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
I was gonna say he was. It was a part of a recent event for Ruthless Pro Wrestling's Omega event where he was facing a wrestler by the name of Schlack in the evening's main event. During the fray, the attendee attempted to stab Kruger, though we don't know if there was a blade, if his blade had even pierced his skin. So we're not sure if he was actually stabbed or not. I'm sure Mads will have something to say about it, but in retaliation, and this is something we saw. We just talked about the Hall of Fame. Remember when Bret Hart got attacked? How many guys jumped that dude?
Right. Mads
the
Kruger actually did come out and issue a statement.
Oh, what did he have to say about it?
He said he is fine. It did not come out saying whether he was actually physically stabbed, but he is fine. He is doing well and looking forward to his next venture.
Sweet. Okay, that's good to know. But
This
again,
did come, and it happened in the pre-show as well, where Mads, as a wrestler in kayfabe, in character, invoked the emotion of the fan, which is what he is supposed to do.
right.
We as fans are not to take it literal. We know they are out there to play a character for our entertainment.
Yeah, like you don't see me going up to at a CWE event picking a fight with Kamikaze, or you walking up and picking a fight with the Double D's, for instance.
Right?
Like, no. I mean, I get like razzing the wrestler because I mean that's what you're supposed to do as the fan, but to get into a violent situation with this, and Mads, he plays the character all the time, and that's the thing when you're doing the meet and greets pre-show, those wrestlers are in character. They're in
Yes.
their character, and that's what you want to see is
Yeah.
them in their character. They very seldom break character, but that's maybe if they know you. So,
Yeah.
like, if I walk up to CWE's Rusty Blackwell, he will say hi to me and hi his name, but I will still talk to him as his character,
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
this is something you don't do. And yeah, this guy who attacked the he's a POS. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Um you don't do that at all. We some years ago, I want to say it was about a year ago at a CWE event, we almost had a situation very similar to this. And I think I told you about this the night it happened or the day after it happened. But there was a fan who went in there and threatened to kill everybody.
No, I don't remember hearing anything about this.
Oh, yeah, there was a fan who was threatening to kill everybody at the show,
Wow.
and they got ejected right away. Right away.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I was the one who found out about it.
Yeah.
So I went and talked to Carl about it, and Carl went and he went through the proper channels to deal with it.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, this was a very stupid move, and I hope that the authorities take proper action on this person who did it.
Yeah, I mean, if you take a look, we just had that devastating incident with Rampage Jackson's son
Yeah,
last year.
and we're still dealing with that as far as the wrestling news goes.
Yeah. So, and I know that the wrestler got egged on and provoked Rampage, not intentionally, didn't realize that Rampage was there or Rampage's son was there filming, but invoked him. Yes, the wrestlers are supposed to invoke the emotions. That was a mistake on that wrestler's part. This was just sheer idiocy and lunacy on the part of this fan.
Mhm.
And you look at that situation we saw on Raw a few years ago where the fan jumped the guardrail and attacked Seth Rollins because he fell for somebody pretending to be Seth online and asking for money.
He was catfish, basically.
Yep.
We're gonna move right into our next story, which is actually a fun story. I forgot that to tell you we were gonna talk about this one too. But Gronk's Beach WrestleMania After Dark held at Gronk's Beach, presented by DoorDash. This is the WrestleMania after party, if I'm not mistaken, that they usually do. It's a
Yep.
special event that's going to be hosted by Rob Gronkowski, former Patriot, former Buccaneer. He played for the Bucks, right?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did. WWE has announced that Gronkowski will host yet another edition of Gronk Beach at Marquee, Las Vegas on Sunday, April 19th, with several guests confirmed. This is according to Thomas Lawson at eWrestling News. Trick Williams, Lash Legend, and Tiffany Stratton have been advertised to be at the event. Last year, Stratton was there, as well as Damian Priest. Last year's event also saw performances by DJ Valentino Khan. Flo Rida was there. Flo Rida has also appeared at WrestleMania. These little events are kind of fun. This is a way to kind of meet the wrestlers on a bit of a personal level, but not like in what we just reported with Mads Kruger.
Right. Absolutely. And I know when this article came across our desk this afternoon, one member of the Turnbuckle affiliation program wasn't overly excited and admitted that he turns off anything when it comes to Gronk. Gronk is a wrestling guy. Let's not
Mhm.
forget he's appeared at WrestleMania, assisted in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal when Mojo Rawley won it.
He almost had a pro wrestling contract until Tom Brady called him and said, "Let come play for the Buccaneers."
Yeah. And so I'm good with this because he's got that experience. He's been a host of WrestleMania. So this is great. Gronk is just out there being a fun loving guy, putting on a party for the fans, for the wrestlers. And we don't even know all of the guests that are going to be there. And as well
No,
on Saturday,
like I mentioned, Trick, Lash, and Tiffany are all scheduled to appear.
yeah, but we don't know who else is going to be there. And as well
Mhm.
on Saturday, April 18th, WWE will host Kill Tony with Tony Hinchcliffe WrestleMania as part of the WrestleMania After Dark. That will air on Netflix Monday, April 20th.
And see, we talked about Gronk and that. Yeah, I'm gonna skip over this one myself.
Yeah, you and me both.
Um, and I'm not skipping over it because of Tony Hinchcliffe. I'm just not a fan of the Kill Tony series. I
I,
don't
I'm,
hate
I'm,
it. I don't like it. I'm just not a fan. Simple
I'm
as
with you.
that.
I am
Yeah.
with you. I'm not a fan. I don't find him overly entertaining, overly funny. But you
Mhm.
know what? I'm glad that they are
But
putting this stuff out.
and that's the thing. Tony Hinchcliffe does have that star power. So like he can bring those viewers or those eyes over to the WWE product. Gronkowski can do the same thing. I mean, there are tons of people who are fans of him, who are fans of him playing football, who probably when he played for the Pats, followed him when he went to the Buccaneers, probably followed him when he did hosted WrestleMania 36, probably followed him when he did the episode of Family Guy. Probably
Yep.
followed him when he helped Jinder Mahal lose the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Yep. Yep.
And that's how you build the fan bases. So like take for instance, like Roddy Piper was what got me into wrestling. So like
Yep.
I started becoming a fan of Piper. Then I'm like, oh, here's this other guy, Hulk Hogan. Okay, I'm a fan of him too. Mr. T. Okay, I'm a fan of him too. Suddenly I'm a fan of wrestling. you know?
Yep. Now I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna speak as somebody who has experienced a one-day WrestleMania, and I did the travel package for the weekend. And I
Yes.
think that now what you need to do, because we've complained about ticket prices, but include these events in that travel package. Include them in your ticket price, especially if you're paying the $15,000 and up on your tickets.
Hmm. But since we got fans who are paying all this stuff, I mean, if you're going to fork out some money, you might as well do some online shopping. Take a look at what we have here.
The Turnbuckle Studios store is open for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the merch and represent the best from the shows you watch on a weekly basis. Multiple styles to choose from with over 10 products available. Don't get left out and pick up all your favorites today. Find us at turnbucklestudios.org.
And ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Turnbucklestudios.org is the home of the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program. We want you to head over to our shop, support your favorite shows and your favorite podcasters, wear what we wear. And ladies and gentlemen, all of those proceeds come back into our studios to bring you a better experience.
Yeah. Let's talk women's wrestling for a little bit. And we're talking about a
Okay.
specific woman whose AEW contract will be coming to an end as of midnight tonight. The one and only Lady Frost. She hasn't had very much success in AEW. She hasn't won a single match during her time in AEW, by the way. But her contract with AEW comes to an end at midnight tonight. Now, I know she's had success in TNA. I know she's had success in CMLL. I know she's had success in ROH, but now ROH is a part of AEW. Where do you see her going? Where would you think the best fit for her could be?
For me, this really isn't a needle mover as far as free agents go. I've never really I've never seen her have a lot of success in TNA, no matter where she's gone from the promotions I've seen her in. Has she really moved the needle? Wild gimmick. I absolutely love it.
Mhm.
Reminds me of a Storm from the X-Men mixed with Glacier.
Okay.
But not really that whole ton of success. Yes, she's won a handful of matches here, a handful of matches there. I think she needs to go back to where she's more comfortable, whether that be CMLL, whether that be Japan.
And that's where I was going to go because in Mexico, she has had extensive success there. But I'm not going to go CMLL. I'm going to go AAA.
Okay.
I would like to see this woman because I've this today was my first day watching her. I will flat out admit that, and I was impressed with what I saw in the matches that she lost because I watched the match she had with Diana Perrazzo in TNA some years ago. I then watched some of her Dragon Gate wrestling as well, and she was fantastic in those matches. And based off what I'm reading about her successes in Mexico, 100% AAA or CMLL, preferably AAA for myself because I'd like to see more women inclusion on there. I'd like to see her go up against like Lady Flammer. I'd
Right.
like to see her go after the Reina de Reinas championship. She fits that style, that women's wrestling style that's going on in AAA right now.
Right. Yeah, for me, it was always sort of when I've watched her, and I mean, I've only seen 10 or 12 matches over the last 5 years or so, maybe a
Hmm.
decade. And it always seems to me like it's her opponent that's carrying the match and bringing more and more out of her. So she's never been that huge needle mover, never really left a huge impression on me. Could she still whoop me in the ring? 100% she would.
Yeah.
But
Or why not bring her on a tour for the CWE and put her up against a woman we'll be seeing on June 17th here in the Sioux, in Zandra Lee.
yes,
Zandra Lee and her could put on a great match, because I'll tell you right now, I'm going to assume you haven't seen her matches in Mexico. Go ahead and
might have seen
give those a look. See.
I might have seen one or two, but it's not something.
Hmm.
She's not somebody that I go out and particularly look for. Like
Hmm.
before the article got shared into our group, I had actually passed it, and I went, meh, not a big one for me.
But it's a big one for our viewers. I'm very intrigued to see where she ends up. I'd like to see further success out of her. So yeah, but we're gonna go from one spectrum to the other. Let's talk Hall of Fame for a little bit. This because I think we can spend a little bit of time on this one, because this year's match has been has been talked about, and this year's Hall of Fame match is a match that we said should have been one of the first ones that we talked about. Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant from WrestleMania 3 is going into the Hall of Fame. One of the things I'm thinking about when I look at this match is who's going to come out and talk about it? Because I hate to put a damper on this one, but everybody that was involved in this match has since passed away.
I wonder if this is where you get Nick and Brooke Hogan to come out. I
That's
wonder.
that's
I
a
wonder if
possibility.
this is where you get um,
Andre's daughter, maybe.
Andre's daughter, or his best friend, who took him in on that ranch, as we saw on the biography there.
He's passed away too. Because you're talking about Frenchie Martin, and he's passed away too.
Yeah, but there was
sadly.
no, there was also the Frenchie's wife.
She's passed away too,
Oh,
sadly. Yeah, that's
I
what I
remember
mean.
watching them when they did the A&E Legends
Hmm.
on him, and they went out. Oh no, it was the Most Wanted Treasures, and she had Andre's passport then.
Oh wait. Oh, maybe she is still around then. Okay. But no.
But
Yeah,
I mean, we know that these immortal moments only started getting enshrined last year.
yes. But it's been a discussion though that we've had, like if we had to induct Hall of Fame matches, when you think about WrestleMania 3, there's two matches really that you think about, and that's Hulk Hogan and Andre, and Macho Man versus Ricky Steamboat.
Yeah.
But sorry, you continue on.
But I think that, and a lot of this, and I mean, rightfully so, it does have to do, it's another way to enshrine Hulk Hogan with his passing last year, and just the effect that he has had on the industry and on us as fans.
Yes. And it was this match alone that made that turning point for the WWE, because this was a match that like all eyes were on it. And then when they had their rematch at Saturday night's main event about a little less than a year later, or not Saturday night's main event, the main event it was on. And that, what was it, like something like 90 million people or something like that tuned in to watch the match. It's the highest rated wrestling match ever.
Yeah.
But this match, even though it wasn't a good technically sound match, it was a match that kids in the playground would argue over who was going to win, Hulk Hogan or Andre.
Yeah.
It was a match that got everybody talking in the sports world. Hulk Hogan ended up on Sports Illustrated because of it.
Yes. And to hear the story behind the slam told from both Hulk and Andre's points of view is
Mhm.
absolutely amazing.
And I will point this out to everybody out there. That was not the first time Andre the Giant was slammed.
It
There,
was
this is the mistake everybody makes because it's called the slam heard round the world. The reason why it was that was because of just how epic this main event was.
yes. And this was a moment that led to numerous other circumstances. Lex Luger body slamming Yoko on the aircraft carrier.
Hmm.
Um, Trying to think of another one offhand.
Ahmed Johnson slamming Yoko randomly.
Right? So you're looking at this. This was the catalyst for that, where you're going to get a guy who is big in stature. And Lex Luger, when he did it to Yoko, he was a heel and then came out as this American hero. So it was just that quick turn to babyface him.
Yeah, I think the moment in that segment when Luger turned babyface was when you see him coming down the aisle and Bobby Heenan runs up to say, "What are you doing, Lex?" And Lex just pie faces him. And we're like, okay, Lex is going to be a babyface because you pie face Bobby Heenan. You're turning babyface.
Yeah. But it's moments like this that create those moments that can be replicated, and you don't need to have them done once a year. You can do them once a decade or once every 2 decades so that you're going to get
Hmm.
a similar effect, but nothing is going to have that same effect, same feel as what 90,000 people in the Superdome, or sorry, the Silver Dome felt.
Channeling your Hulk Hogan again, are you?
I am. I am.
But yeah, I will never forget renting WrestleMania 3 the first time. And just I was like maybe I was like 6 years old, 5, 6 years old when I first saw this match. And I knew how important Hulk Hogan and Andre was even then.
Yeah.
Um,
And I mean, let's not forget their history. Like, this wasn't even the first time they had gone at each other. This was just the first time they had done it in the WWE
no,
or
this wasn't the first
WWF,
time they did it in the WWF. This wasn't. Their first time they met was at Showdown at Shea in 1980.
which was Worldwide Wrestling, WWWF.
Still the same company.
But they had also had history in the AWA, in NWA, and they had a friendship. And then when Bobby Heenan introduced Andre,
That that moment on Piper's Pit, man, that stuck with me as a child.
yeah. And that was where the lines, I believe, of kayfabe first truly got blurred, when Hogan was like, "What are you doing? We're friends."
Yeah, because well, they actually were friends, and I mean, we saw who was the first person to celebrate with Hogan when he beat Sheik for the title.
Right?
Andre was the first one to show up. And
Yeah.
then you saw all the other baby faces because Andre was a baby face at that time. And then the way Heenan worded that, the way Heenan built everything, he's like, you guys, he basically said to Hogan at that time, you guys may have been friends, but did you ever once consider giving him a championship match during, because Hogan was like 3 years as a champion at the time.
Yeah.
And Hogan was at a loss for words during that time.
Yeah.
And then I will never forget the way Andre just grabbed him by the chin and said, "You look at me. I want that championship match at WrestleMania." And then he
Yeah.
grabs the necklace and rips it off Hogan. That cross necklace Hogan always wore, and just
Yes.
throws it to the ground.
So I think
Beautiful
in
build.
this situation, I think the whole story needs to be enshrined, not just the
Mhm.
match itself, though I know that that's encompassing a whole other spectrum.
Mhm.
So I know we're getting the final product out of it going in, and I love it.
Yeah, like I said, the question I have is who does the induction? Because like I said, Hogan and Andre, Bobby Heenan, Joey Morella, who was the referee in that match, has since passed away. Even the ring announcer for that match, which was Bob Uecker, has since passed away.
Yep.
I think it would be fitting if you can get Nick and Brooke to be involved, and if you get Andre's daughter to be involved as well.
Yep. And I that a lot of people aren't going to be familiar with Hogan's most recent wife, but maybe this is a situation. Do you bring Linda Hogan in? Or is this a situation where you go to Dana Warrior, who had history with Hogan?
See, I don't think you go with Dana because Dana wasn't really hanging around Hogan at that time because Warrior was still working in Texas at the time during that
Yeah.
time. So I think it makes sense for. It's a little bit of a controversial move, I think, in my personal opinion, but I think you can bring Linda in, and I think you can bring Hogan's widow as well, because I don't.
Right.
I see that's the thing. I'm not sure if there's animosity there. That's the thing I'm
Right.
thinking about.
I'm going to put out a somewhat controversial name for this one. Do you bring Vincent Kennedy McMahon in to do this?
I think I'm going to flat out say no on that one. But I did think of somebody who, I guess you could say, actually, yeah, okay, I'm going to go with this one because he was a part of the build. He was the one who started the build, and he's still alive. Jesse Ventura.
Yeah?
It was Jesse Ventura who jump started everything between Hogan and Andre on that Piper's Pit, if you recall, because he was there during that whole situation.
Yep.
I think I'd go with him because he's probably the more surefire bet. He still has his deal with WWE. We all know
Yeah.
that. So why not?
Yeah.
But I think it's time we take ourselves 2 commercial breaks here before we head to our next show. Our next our final story here.
A Turnbuckle affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, video games, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today because your future is now, and we want you to tap in.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. All times are in Eastern Time. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m., followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Tuesday brings you the flagship show Turnbuckle Talk at 8:05 p.m. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Thursday we go TNA as we brace for Impact at 9 p.m. On Fridays, join us for the SmackDown Security Detail at 8 p.m. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. On Sunday, be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. And later that night, we have the Boar's Nest at 8 p.m. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day. And please visit turnbucklestudios.org.
And ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That is all of our weekly programming and daily programming for you at turnbucklestudios.org. And we could use your help with it. So send us your credentials. Tell us how you can help us, how you believe we can help you. we can sit down as a collective and figure out the right fit. And to sit down as a collective, you get to meet the team under the host section. Click on the links for each of us. Get our socials. Watch our latest weekly live episodic programming. All of that and so much more at turnbucklestudios.org.
And of course, it is time for our showstopper segment of the week. So, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling is officially TSN bound. This is huge. It takes the promotion from being a local favorite to getting national exposure across Canada. For wrestlers, this could mean bigger audiences, more sponsorships, and a chance to showcase their talent on a larger stage. For fans, it means easier access to weekly pro wrestling action from right here in Canada. Let's take a look at this and how this could affect other promotions and the indie wrestling scene as a whole. OMD. We know that TSN does have the deal with AEW, but I've already looked into that. It's not going to affect anything there. I mean, Tony Khan had just recently signed a multi-year deal to stay with TSN.
Yes.
He didn't specify how many years because he's always vague with that kind of stuff. But this is huge. This is something that we all said was going to happen. Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling is coming back to our TVs because it used to air in the 80s for us to watch.
Yes.
This is exciting as hell for me.
However, it is not coming to the TSN channels. It is coming to the TSN app and streaming.
Still going to pay for it just to watch Maple Leaf Pro.
You know, this is something that I have been going back and forth with. As much as I love the idea of it, I don't know if I can justify that monthly cost. And I know it's not much. I could probably scrap together the $9 to do it, but I also don't want to pay $9 for an hour or two of weekly. I mean, it is weekly television, so I would be okay with that.
It could even include like special pay-per-view style events too.
It could. This is where I think I would have liked to see, and I've said this with AEW, where I wish that, okay, maybe with HBO Max, they could have gone to Crave with us. This is where I think CTV could have been that better fit.
Well, CTV and TSN are under the same brand.
They are under the same Bell Media company. But it gets CTV Sports back out there because we don't have a lot there anymore. And then you can go the next day on Crave, or you can go later that night on Crave and show the same, put it up there so that there are more ways to watch.
But what I'm happy about this is that it is getting that national exposure for Maple Leaf Pro. It's allowing Scott D'Amore, who's running the company, to get that exposure and allow Scott D'Amore to travel and do shows not just in Winnipeg, but outside of Windsor, because that's where he mostly does his shows. But it allows him to possibly even come up here and do shows as well. And I'm so excited about that because I look at like the wrestlers that we watch on the CWE, and I think of guys like I'm going to use some of the younger guys that we see in the CWE, like Josh Holiday and Zandra Lee, for instance.
Yeah.
I would love it. I would love it if Scott D'Amore used this platform, this national deal that he's got now with TSN, to showcase some of the wrestlers from all over the country to be a part of this. And not just that, but even wrestlers who are still trying to come up in the United States, who are trying to get that worldwide exposure, to come up and do some shows as well.
Absolutely. And I like this idea because it is going to give them a platform. I know a couple of weeks ago, before the OHL playoffs started, there was actually a recent game between our Sioux Greyhounds and Windsor Spitfires in Windsor that was actually listed as fight night, and they had, I believe they had a ring set up and superstars from Maple Leaf Pro as well as Can-Am Boxing or Border City Boxing. So I would love to get Maple Leaf Pro up here because you can go back to that sort of Border City wrestling feel.
So I'm going to correct you here because CTV News is reporting that it is going to be on the TSN television networks as well,
Oh, okay.
starting in July.
When I read the article, it said it was streaming.
Well, streaming is what they mean by broadcasting now. So, it's the show will be called Mayhem, and it's expected to help the company obviously expand its footprint in Canada. I can't wait. I really can't because this is for me and you. Like, yes, we used to watch Maple Leaf Wrestling or Maple Leaf Pro, but it was under the WWE banner, so we didn't really get to experience it when the Tunnies ran Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling.
Right.
So this is going to be a very beautiful exposure for all the Canadian wrestlers. And as I said, it doesn't affect the AEW deal in any way because this is going to probably be a lot more like in the late 90s when we used to see like WWF and WCW. They both aired on the same channel up here for us.
Yeah. I don't see that deal having been affected because we do know there are a number of members of the Maple Leaf Pro roster in AEW, Josh Alexander being one of them.
I'm just going to bring up his picture right there because he is the current Maple Leaf Pro champion.
Yes.
And obviously we got Giselle Shaw, who is the women's wrestler. And this is why I'm excited too, because I've never had a chance to watch a Giselle Shaw match, and I know you guys have sung her praises in the past. So.
Yes. Yes, I am a huge fan of Giselle Shaw.
Yeah, we got
but
Bobby.
if you look,
go ahead. Sorry.
But as well, like Bhupinder Gujar, who I've watched in TNA. He's going to do fantastic things in Maple Leaf Pro. I've heard of him making appearances in AEW or Ring of Honor, but nothing grandiose.
And this becomes another platform for not just for like your big names too. Like let's say, because right now the top three on this side of the world are WWE, TNA, and AEW. And I'm not going to say that Maple Leaf Pro could very well end up in that level, but this could also be another platform for some of those those wrestlers that have had that that exposure to come over to Maple Leaf Pro and get a little bit more of that exposure.
I almost maybe want to put MLP in that same territory as an OVW.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see Maple Leaf Pro and TNA come together and do a Canadian show. We know that Anthem, who is a Canadian company, owns TNA. We know their history with Scott D'Amore. I think it just makes perfect sense.
And you know what? I don't want to like say anything right offhand, but this could be very interesting for us at Turnbuckle Studios because maybe on a Saturday night, if they do a special event, we can jump in and do a PLE patrol on one of their special events if that's going to be the case.
Yes.
But yeah, Bobby Stats is coming in saying it is nice to see Canadian wrestlers getting an opportunity with Maple Leaf Pro. And he said maybe he can showcase some of the free agent wrestlers. I mean, we just talked about Lady Frost. This is another opportunity that she can jump on,
She has competed for MLP before.
I know she has. And but like I said, I kind of want this to be for more Canadian exposures. Like I kind of want to see the guys that we watch in CWE come in. I want to see
Right.
like Kamikaze maybe get in there. I want to see maybe AJ Sanchez get in there, or Danny Luna. She's a free agent right now, so why not her? Um, uh, I lost Josh Holiday coming up. Zandra Lee, like one of your favorite women
Yeah.
wrestlers currently on the indie scene.
Yes.
I would love to see this. This just opens up more exposure for those wrestlers who are just trying to make ends meet, and I'm all for this. I'm excited about this.
Yeah,
I
me
think it was
too.
like about a year or so ago, or whenever it was, we started talking about Scott D'Amore opening up Maple Leaf Pro. I'm pretty sure we mentioned that he should be looking for a TV deal because we all wanted to see that first event.
Yes, we did.
But like, I'm trying to think of like other things. Like I'd love to see them, because I get a feeling that for now the show's probably going to be just taped out of Windsor and shown on TSN around the world, or I mean around Canada, around the
Yep.
world if you have a VPN. But I would love to see it so that it becomes so much of a success that Scott has to take the show on the road,
Well,
and he
and
comes
we
to
know,
like GF, he comes to the Gardens and does a taping here.
right. We know that based on one of the articles or one of the topics we discussed last week, Maple Leaf Pro does show their events on Triller TV. So I
Hmm.
wonder if that's going to play into this. Would I love to see a PLE pay-per-view style event from them come here? Absolutely. And especially when it's a 2-night thing.
Hmm. I'd be first in line to get a ticket to go and check it out.
Yep.
But yeah, this is I'm very intrigued. I can't wait for July. And does it give it? I don't think it gives an exact date, right, for
It
that first
doesn't give
event.
an exact
It's good.
date. It gave us just July.
So once we find out that exact date, perhaps depending on what's going on, because there's a lot of things going on in July for Turnbuckle Studios that we're not going to talk about right offhand,
Right?
that I think we should maybe look into doing a watch along for that first event, if that's possible.
Absolutely.
Um, but on that note, um, I think we've talked about this as much as we can, unless you've got more to say about it.
No, I think we have exhausted just about every avenue.
Sorry,
I would
I just can't help but smile because I'm still excited about this news.
I would like to see maybe even an idea, and get them to maybe team up with some American promotions and bring back the idea of Border City and have a border war.
They did have that event recently too, did they not?
Something similar,
I think
yeah.
they did.
But I
Yeah.
would like to see that again.
We got Bubba Doo coming in saying, "Good evening, gents. Good evening, Bubba. Glad to have you here. We're just reporting on Maple Leaf Pro and their TSN deal starts in July. So excited about this. I mean, yeah. But on that note, I think we've talked as much as we can about this one. And OMD, let the people know exactly where you can find the both of us.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for us, turnbucklestudios.org/host, or it's at our link trees that you've been staring at for the last hour. But ladies and gentlemen, please remember the world is better with you in it. From all of us here at Turnbuckle Studios to those of you out there wherever you are, good night, good luck, we out.
Flagship show setting the tone. In the world of wrestling we stand alone. With news and reviews we lead the way. Turnbuckle Talk every day. Turnbuckle Talk every day.